everyone for coming. Mimi, I'm one of the grandchildren. My letter is to my Waiko. Waiko, I'm so glad I got to meet you when you were 57 and I was 6. You were first and only grandchild for a few years before Kyle and Hamilton came into the world. I look back so fondly at those times we shared together. Your qualities that stood out for me are your kindness, generosity, dedication, patience, and your love of nature. In a time where we have witnessed so much loss of humanity, the way you've shown love and compassion towards so many as a beacon of light. When we lived with you, you often took me fishing at Stevens Creek Reservoir, not too far from here. And first we were just standing there by the shore, and then you bought a small boat, and then when you retired, you found a better reservoir and a better boat, and I was your skipper every weekend at the Lexington Reservoir. We didn't catch that many fish, but you were always so excited to go, and so I knew it brought you a lot of joy. Those long days on the lake always made me come home a little more tan than my mom would like. One of your favorite things to do was to visit Taipo in San Francisco. After each visit, you would take us to eat at your favorite Vietnamese restaurant. You would share stories of her, and I understood just how much she meant to you. I really looked up to her back then, even though I couldn't fathom the sheer amount of sacrifice she made to bring our whole entire family here together in the Bay Area. They say that grandparents are the best because you get all the love without any of the baggage, and I think it's true. All I've ever felt was love and care from you. You always made us feel safe. One day when I was about 7 or 8 years old, I really wanted shiny stickers from Long's drugstore, and I stole them and hid them under my shirt. When you found out that I stole them, you said, "It's okay, let's just go back and pay for them." And one of my favorite memories of you was at the 2013 family reunion 12 years ago in Lake Tahoe when you were 80 years old. We played a game where you had to guess what the elders would say, and the question for you was, what is your favorite Chinese dish? And everyone in our family guessed that you would say Hong Shao Rou, but you surprised us and you said noodles. Later on, you reminded me, oh yeah, I forgot, I do love Hong Shao Rou. I feel comforted by the idea that your spirit lives on in each of us, because your children and your grandchildren, even your great-grandson here at Aspen, all carry a piece of you with us. I can see your kindness and generosity in our Aunt Tylian, and your attention to detail and dedication in my mom. I can see your cleverness and tenacity in my Uncle June, and your love for building community in Hamilton, and your kind smile and patience in Ben, your appreciation for music in Alex, your fiery passion in Maymay, your love of animals in Kyle, and your sense of adventure and love for the outdoors will always be with me and with Aspen. We love you so much, Waigong, and have always felt loved by you too. Your presence will be missed deeply. May you rest in peace.
Hi, I am Hamilton. I am one of the grandsons of Waigong, and I just want to share some memories of him. I just remember the shed in the Hannah Drive house and how it always had this distinct smell of going out on trips. And I remember seeing all the shiny lures and wanting to touch them, and you scared me by saying that if I did that, I'd get hooks stuck in my thumbs. And I was really young. I was really young. I don't quite remember when, but I was fishing with you, and after what seemed like a really long time, we finally got a bite, and you were surprised, I remember, because it seemed like the fish was so strong that I wasn't able to reel it in. And I think we didn't catch the fish. I think the line snapped and the fish got away. And I felt bad because you were silent for a little bit. And I think it was because that you were upset that I lost one of those shiny lures. But I think he was just disappointed about how he wasn't able to share like a success, a victory with me. And that's how I learned how he was caring and invested in others. And another moment later on, there's a time where you controversially gifted your iPad to someone in church. That person didn't seem like they were from a well-off family, and they were going to college without a laptop or anything. And so you decided to donate your laptop or your iPad to them. And I admired your kindness and empathy towards others, because you never gave helping others a second thought. And I'm happy that in your final days, you were visited by family and surrounded by your loved ones. Rest in peace, Michael.
I'm Alex. I'm one of the grandsons. One of my biggest regrets is not committing myself to learning Mandarin earlier in my life. I attended Chinese school and had a private Chinese tutor as a kid, but I never really took it seriously. This would unfortunately hinder communication between my yeye and I, especially as his memory started slipping and he lost most of his English speaking ability. It made it harder for him to share the stories of his childhood and our family that he wanted to pass down. However, this wouldn't define our relationship. Rather, it just made the little that he was able to express to me that much more memorable and more meaningful. While small details were lost, he would often tell me about his own grandfather, who was one of the best doctors in China during his time. He stressed the importance of science and medicine and would always emphasize how proud he was of my parents for entering the medical field. I also loved going on walks with him, where he would always point different observations out to me. He showed me where my dad went to middle school and explained how my dad was still a little kid when they immigrated from China. While we were grocery shopping for my grandma, he explained how it was important to eat a large amount of fruits and vegetables. Unfortunately, I personally still haven't fully embraced that value yet. One random thing that I remember him teaching me on a walk was that the Freeway 680 eventually turned into 280 in the South Bay, which wasn't the most applicable or even understandable thing to my 4-year-old self. But that fact always stuck with me, and it would eventually become useful when I started driving over a decade later. The bulk of our relationship was not built upon these limited transactions of language, though. It was mainly through his actions that he was able to show his love, humor, and kindness. While I just revealed all the things he did say on those walks, most of the time spent on those walks were silent. He was just glad to spend time with me and bond with me, and we didn't need to talk for that to happen. When it was snack time, he and my grandma would feed me and my sister Oreos. At the time, she only liked the cream part and wouldn't eat the black cookie part, so he would scoop all the cream out of my sister's Oreos and spoon feed it to her while giving me the extra cookies. Although my dad repeatedly told them that we were to have no more than 2 Oreos per day, he constantly ignored him and we would get closer to 5 per day. One time, my sister and I were doing an Easter egg hunt in our front yard, and I hid an egg in his car's exhaust pipe. Somehow it got stuck up there and we couldn't pull it out. He realized that if he turned on the engine, it would probably get pushed out, so he did. It flew out way harder and faster than any of us anticipated, and we all had a good laugh about it. Despite holding medicine in such high regard, he never pressured me to follow that same path. He recognized and supported my passion for music and would always want to listen to me practice my various instruments, cheering me on. Yeye and I couldn't talk much, but that didn't stop him from trying to be the most loving and caring father he could possibly be. On the occasion that we did talk, he was always either teaching me something new or expressing his love for his family. Because of the nature of our relationship, I truly believe in the saying, actions speak louder than words. Through both his actions and his words, I had no doubt in my mind that he loved me. 爷爷，我爱您，所有对您的怀念将永远在我心里。按时吧。
现在请大家起立，我们一起唱《奇异恩典》。 恩典何等甘甜，我罪已得赦免，牵我世上已被寻回，瞎眼睛得看见，如此恩典使我心得安慰。主亲指示我们会，真是何等宝贵。住在天家千万年时，如日无间光亮，世世颂赞永不止息，仍将凯歌出场。请关牧师为我们祝福。
我们同心低头，天父，我们再次来到你的恩座前，唯独我们所敬爱的婆婆离开我们，但我们深信你已经把她的灵魂带到天上。这种亲友在这里怀念的话，我们都深深放在心中。愿主的名得着荣耀，让你的恩典临到我们众人。还没有信耶稣的，早日可以改归主，我们同享添加美好的福分。但愿使人有盼望的神，因着你们的信心，他落一张诸般的喜乐、平安、安慰赐给你们，并且保守你们的心怀意念，从今时直到永永远远。阿门。
好，下面请坐。
So I'm going to make this brief. We're actually slightly pressed for time. So special thanks to Xiao Hong, Xiao Xia. Really, couldn't go through this process without you guys. Reverend Kwong and Nancy, thanks for getting this all together. I think this is really how he wanted it. I think all of you guys have played a huge part of his life, and hopefully he had some of a role in your lives as well. Take solace in the fact that he really went very, very peacefully. So as good as it go, as ending could come to. So again, thank you for all of you guys for being here, for remembering him, and also to some of the people who are not here, their thoughts and their gestures and everything is very well appreciated. So we'll end this portion here. There are a number of agendas to follow. There's some box lunches for people that can't make it to the cemetery. Gates of Heaven is pretty close to here, so hopefully you guys have directions. So that's supposed to start right about now. So let's try to make it there as soon as we can. At 3 o'clock, we're supposed to be at Chef Chu's, which is on El Camino. Again, I think there's the QR code for you guys to scan. It's pretty easy to find. So we're supposed to be there from 3 to 5 p.m. Anything else? I think that's it right on the itinerary. So, okay.
好，下面是最后是瞻仰仪容，这样我们从最后一排这么过来，完了从这儿出去，好吗？
Amen.